Do you believe that The Wizard of Oz was written here?
Actually, I can kind of believe
I know,
it.
right?
Because it is so whimsical and beautiful and iconic here. But at the same time, I don't know. That is cool as hell.
And where we're talking about here is the Hotel Del Coronado. This is the second time that we've been here in 3 weeks. Honestly, should spend the entire month here because of $550 million renovation of the property. 12 different restaurants, venues. They closed down the rooms, 130 or 370 something guest rooms. They closed down for a year to take the guts, which are from 1888, redid the plumbing, redid the lobby, redid the grand driveway, redid the landscaping, redid everything.
They re-roofed it, I think,
They re-roofed.
too.
Well,
you got it, right?
Imagine trying to do that without destroying what is special and old about.
And also just totally tanking your revenue at the same time, right?
Right.
All of that at the same time.
Yeah, you had to have a very...
They took the spa out, too. I think the spa was closed for at least 6 to 8 months, maybe even more. And that's a huge revenue driver, too. That's all
So we're
profit.
basically sitting in the San Diego's Statue of Liberty. San Diego is icon of Americana. I look and I feel like Marilyn Monroe right now.
I do, too.
I'm
I feel like a very special girl right now.
And we are going to, on this podcast, you are going to see a dish dedicated to Marilyn that Jackie will destroy in about 25 minutes. We're recording this in reverse. We're doing the intro right now. It's Happy Half Hour. I'm Troy Johnson. This is Jackie Bryant.
This is the Inception episode.
Everything that you need to know about San Diego's food scene. The news, chefs doing things, openings, closings,
Unsolicited
opinions, lies, slander, innuendo, the news. And we're going to have the executive chef of Hotel Del, who's in charge of thousands of meals a night. And we're going to meet one of his agricultural partners, somebody who just basically sources farms to produce all of the strawberries they need, all of the artichokes they need, everything that grows out of the ground that the Hotel Del needs 70 billion of a year. This man makes sure that they're in top-notch shape.
And you know what I actually learned from him that was the most interesting is that his company, Natural Produce, tries to source exclusively from California in season, which you can do, which therefore means that the Hotel Del, being their client, is pretty much sourcing almost exclusively from inside California. That's cool as hell.
And as our luck to be able to do, being that 95% of the country's produce is grown within California during the summertime. 400 different agricultural products that all end up on a plate in 7, 12, however many restaurants the Hotel Del now has. That's all coming up in a second. We're talking as if it already happened. This is Happy Half Hour. Jackie has your news.
Café Madeline has expanded to Barrio Logan. So it's the popular French cafe. It's kind of like one of the French cafes. There's like Café Chloe and Café Madeline. Oh my God, Madeline was Madeline, I guess it was my favorite book growing up. So it's opened its newest location in Barrio Logan. There's one on El Cajon Boulevard in North Park already, and then the original is in South Park. And are there others? There might be others.
The original was in South Park. I mean, that opened when I was just first starting to write about food 15, 16 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, God, vintage. So they're still serving crepes, quiches, espresso, that whole Parisian flair. They've got, the cute wicker chairs, the deal. A lot of outdoor seating, neighborhood charm.
Barrio Logan is exploding.
Popping. Fully popping.
It is absolutely popping. And it's good to see, it's been, obviously it's a historical neighborhood in San Diego, and it's had its great culture on its own for a long time. But I mean, just the continued growth there, they have to do it right.
They do, and the neighborhood steers that, and it's just nice to see. It's nice to see a neighborhood evolve in its own way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, every neighborhood's going to go through growth. I hope this one goes through good growth. But Café Madeline's a really good addition.
Yeah, good partner.
And Fish Guts is another one. Leah's Lumpia, Chichietta Osteria down
best. Hayes Burger.
Hayes
stopped in there the other day before
Jaguar
we had to film.
Paw. Oof. Yeah, there's if you want
Mujeres Brew House, where we are having a San Diego magazine party.
In about 25 minutes, we're going to head down to Mujeres Brew House, which is
right now.
dedicated to women in craft beer.
Yeah.
It's basically a I don't know what you want to call it, a hangout, a place.
Epicenter, a cultural epicenter.
A place for people
brewery.
who haven't necessarily had place in an industry for years and years and years. These guys created a place for women in craft beer. It is, if you want a good time, go down there on a weekend, because that's when the culture and the life pops too. You get like the lowriders down there. Mm-hmm. You've got like some craft culture happening.
Walkabout.
Yeah.
all that
Anyways,
stuff.
all right.
So this is a really cool story. Wildwood Flour, it's coming back. That was the PB bakery that Lauren Silver opened and closed in 2024, and she's reviving it in East County. But it's a much different project than just the bakery storefront she had before. I really love this place, and I was sad to see it go. But she had a rent raise hike, and out she went.
Okay.
So the new location is a rustic ranch near Campo, tucked off the old Highway 80 beside the Cleveland National Forest. She plans to build a home, working farm, bakery, and flour mill. She's there. I've seen it on her Instagram. She's already tinkering with it, got it started. So which is why she's announcing it. But she's got chicken, sheep, bees, possibly a mini donkey. She's going to continue milling California-grown grains on site, which she had been doing previously elsewhere. She's going to do that
And
all here.
And the reason why that is so cool, the California-grown grains, Companion Bread in San Diego, Companion Bakery. If you haven't heard of them or seen them, you probably tasted their bread by now because some of the better chefs in San Diego are using them. Yeah. But California grown grains, look, you want to eat where you're from, right? I mean, the best things that you can possibly do, and it probably comes down to what your body can handle too, because if there's
not a ton grown here.
Yeah,
a lot of it comes from elsewhere.
A lot of the grains come from elsewhere. And if you're using, California grown grains that are, grown from the environment, that you're living in, that's most likely better for your body too. More nutrients, and it's just a terroir. It tastes good.
And the thing is almost no one in San Diego outside of Companion and maybe some of their friends are really doing that. So this is a big deal. So she's going to be baking in wood and stone ovens, everything from sourdough to bagels. She's got the whole infrastructure out there. Her long-term vision,
to fly a helicopter over a podcast.
To fly a helicopter over the world famous Happy Half Hour podcast and stymie it forever.
Somebody talk to the military and tell them we have important operations going on down here. We're talking about flour and grains.
I'm going to at them.
We're talking about an amount of flour.
They're going to FMA. So yeah, her long-term vision at the spot includes farm dinners, private events, community education, maybe even a B&B. So it's her back to the land, back to the soil approach inspired by regenerative farming.
That's what every single person wanted to do when Yellowstone came out. During the pandemic, we're all like, let's move out to the country. Let's move out to the desert. Let's open up a compound. Let's grow food. Let's have
Lauren
stuff.
Silver, she's doing it.
Question, is this a sex farm?
Not yet. Not yet.
And the reason why I asked that is this. When Claire was moving out here from New York.
Oh, there are sex farms out there.
That is a different kind of thing. She found this farm in California. She wanted to get to know California, and she sent me this website of this farm. She said, "I'm thinking about doing a week here before I come out to see you in San Diego and move my entire life into this romantic, interloping that we're going to have." And she sends me this website, and I look on it, and it has headshots of all of the farmers, each of which look like they came out of like a general hospital. It was like 6 soap opera stars in chaps and cowboy boots.
That's probably where that dating site Farmers Only came from.
And
farmers are hot.
No, I don't think you're going to go to a sex farm, So I'm glad that this is not it. Wildflower is doing
I'm stoked. She's going back to the land.
Back to the land.
Back to the land and keeping it in San Diego. Good for her. Really happy.
That was my aside. That was just for you, Claire. Okay.
And so just in case you are a food news junkie, but you don't read our other food journalism that Troy and Beth Demon especially are writing all the time, we have some really good in-depth culture stories that aren't necessarily super newsy, but they give it a bit of a deeper peek in. So Beth just published one about the San Diego Zoo. It has its own top chef, and she's doing Wagyu candle courses.
Isn't that crazy?
It's so crazy.
I know. I mean, she's responsible for 4 million
talk about an operation.
People a year. Yeah,
and kids on top of it, kids and families and tourists.
And they have their own. She went to pastry school.
Yeah, Le Cordon Bleu. So her name is Zaz Sufi, and she's the executive concept chef for the entire San Diego Zoo system. She's overseeing 12 restaurants, 17 kiosks, and all of the private events, of which there are many. You too can rent out the zoo. Very cool. Her team feeds up to 25,000 people a day, plus weddings, corporate dinners, and the annual Food, Wine, and Brew Fest. She's behind everything from fresh jelly scratch pasties to immersive multi-course tasting menus with edible tallow candles. Those are those Wagyu candles. She grew up between TJ and San Diego, trained at Le Cordon Bleu, and cooked at Dodger Stadium, Disneyland, and USC before joining the zoo in 2020. She's revamping the outlet themes all around the zoo. So the Busy Bee Cafe is becoming a smash burger joint, and she's launching Rex's Donuts, which are scratch-made donuts and Mendo style sandwiches. So those really loaded kind of deli sandwiches.
Yep.
Oh, that was a fighter jet.
That was just a fighter jet.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That was crazy.
Yeah, we're just mildly.
We're like in it. We're in the cradle of empire right now. And so the Zoo's bakery, it makes all of its sweets in-house now, thanks to her.
That surprised me that the Zoo makes all of their pastries
because nobody does. Even restaurants, many, okay, not most, but maybe most restaurants actually do import their desserts, right? Yeah. That's like kind of a little known secret of the restaurant business. That's why when restaurants have a big deal pastry stuff, they're so big about announcing it. Yep. So the fact that the Zoo, which is not first and foremost a restaurant, that is not its first business, is like doing that in-house is major. So they're doing donuts, brownies, Pop-Tarts, fudge, 100% from scratch. So her goal is to expand the in-house bakery to handle all the Zoo bread and support catering desserts. She says her job is a dream come true, and that the real magic is training a huge team to care about every single detail.
Yeah, you guys should read this story.
I love it.
And here's the thing for me is that I think that the Zoo, if you have somebody like her, and you have a few other like-minded people, I would love to see a craft cocktail bar in the middle of that.
I would also love that.
I know.
I mean, they have espresso bars everywhere already, which is a major Zoo upgrade, and actually one of my favorite things about the Zoo. You can get an excellent espresso.
Yeah,
anytime.
This chef and a few other chefs are part of it. What's going on here?
Oh no, you can keep talking. Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry that I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm like a huge military gear geek. I love it. Like
I would not have expected that.
Yeah, I am actually kind of a gearhead.
that Top Gun was just filmed right behind us.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom Cruise just flew a plane.
He's here
with Iceman. Yep.
So anyway.
Okay, so that's your news.
This is fucking crazy.
So
probably take that out.
This is
Our producer just said this is feeling like Anchorman, which I actually think is both a compliment and an insult. So it's probably time to turn this off.
This is when the podcast gets its best. Absolutely. All right. So that is your news. Wildflower out in Campo?
Yeah.
Out in Campo.
Old Highway 80.
That's right. The Café Madeline going into Barrio Logan, and then check out that story at the Zoo. And next time you eat a pastry there, realize that they're not just shipping those things in. That's actually a woman doing it all from scratch. I mean, not all herself. She's got an entire huge team. But check out SanDiegoMagazine.com for the food news that Beth Demon writes that I contribute to. Now we're going to bring on the executive chef of the Hotel Del Coronado at one of its most crucial times in history. This man is in charge of all of your meals and his farmer friend, basically. The man who like sources all of the farms and all the produce from around California that feeds thousands of people a day at a top level. All right, so we've been talking about the Del and the rebirth, reinvention, just a couple years, just a couple dollars. It's been a $550 million remodel of a San Diego classic, an American classic, a Marilyn Monroe classic. Every single time you touch a bit of paint on this place, an emotion fell off.
And the price tag goes up by like $50. Just
so much emotions in this. Like, Grandpa got engaged right over there. Like I found out I was pregnant over there.
Some Like It Hot was filmed over here. Like literally, the amount of history that flows through this property is just like kind of insane.
I mean, so Jackie and I could do an architectural digest on this, but we're a food podcast. So we have with us right now executive chef, brand new. I mean, 5 months in the chef world is brand new. Brian Archibald, executive chef of Hotel Del. Welcome to the podcast, brother.
Thank you for having me.
And over on the right, we have, God damn it,
Michael Feuerstein.
Michael Feuerstein. Please edit that out. Thank you so much.
God damn it.
God damn it, Michael Feuerstein.
For our religious followers.
It's kind of dope.
I know. And with him, we have Michael Feuerstein of Nature's Produce, which is an 70, 60, 70, 80-year-old family company that's been getting some of the best damn produce in the state, in the country, in the planet to tables like this.
Absolutely.
Okay. You need to get closer to the mic.
Oh, yeah, you got it. It's got to feel a little uncomfortable.
Oh, sorry. We didn't even
So always remember that.
Give you guys a primer.
We didn't, because I didn't say my offensive thing that I always say, which is that it's got to feel a little uncomfortable. That's how close you should be.
So yeah, so right here. Okay, ready?
Got it.
Okay. Yeah, so if you're like right up on top of that thing, because we can take audio out, but we can't put audio in.
And if you move around, just make sure your mouth is always pointing at it. If you're
exactly
effusive type.
Okay. So basically today we're going to give you a guide to everything that's happening. There's 6 restaurants, 6 dining establishments, maybe even 8, and obviously, Brian, you're in charge of every single one of them, which I'm sure is a small non-Sisyphean task. You got to run a bunch of different people, a bunch of different produce, a bunch of different menus. I don't envy your job whatsoever.
I would. It's beautiful.
I was waiting for you to come back at me a little bit. I would.
He's missing an HR meeting for this. He's like, where do I start?
We're staring at the ocean, man. Right? Salt water's blowing in our hair. I can't look down on that beautiful Coronado.
I know. Okay, so a little bit about your background. You cut your teeth way back in the day in the Danielle Balou organization. Yep. You were at Restaurant Danielle.
Yeah, worked at Restaurant Danielle.
Okay.
Loved it. Grew up in Arizona, as I was telling you earlier too. So really spent most of my career in the resort world.
Yeah.
Did fine dining with Danielle, which I loved, in freestanding restaurant. Then went to
what did that Frenchie teach you? What did you learn in that one?
Keep your shit together and keep your elbows in. It's very important.
Okay.
You only had so much square footage, if you would, working space. 50 cooks next to you, no joke. It was great, but attention to detail, respect the direction, and I'm not going to get on a soapbox as far as the way we learn and teach now, but it's a different time and era. I went to school in San Francisco, and that kind of with that same crew, Jeremiah Tower, Gary Danko, and those are the kitchens that we grew up in and worked in. So it was a different philosophy and style. Yeah, so it's some shell shock for sure.
Well, there was a code.
Yeah.
There was a code that needed to be adhered to because the entire team depended on you keeping your elbows in.
Yeah, don't turn. If not, there's fights in the alley after when shifts are over. Normally,
that's kind of fun too.
Yeah.
We'll record that next podcast.
Fight Club.
And then, obviously you worked your way, through a few, high-end resorts. Where were you last? I understand you were in Florida. I apologize.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just relocated from the Florida market. I was down there working for Shaner Hotels, overseeing 3 different properties. Main one was Playa Largo Resort in Key Largo.
Okay.
Loved it. Did not love the humidity at all.
No.
So being from Arizona, San Diego's kind of close. This came on my radar as a big Hilton fan, that this property was looking for an executive chef, which doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
So I was excited to throw my hat in the ring, come out here and cook.
When you said that, you didn't seem like a Hold on.
The naval pause.
Always.
Look at him and his aviators. You're fitting this moment, sir.
Yeah, he's Top Gunning it.
Dude, we literally played Maverick the other day.
I just watched Maverick, and then I went back and watched Top Gun. Such a bad movie.
It's great watch in a bad way. Actually, because I haven't forever.
It's so cheesy.
Yeah. It's the best.
It's the absolute best.
It's the cheesiest, best movie ever.
I want to do a Top Gun photo shoot so bad.
I know.
Like a recreated.
You just want to see guys with shirts off. All right. When you said that, you didn't sound like a company man. You sound like you genuinely did love the Marriott.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
It's all about the team that you work with.
Yeah.
It really is. This is a relationship business too, much like our relationships today that at this table. And if you don't have that synergy and that vision, and we had a lot of that, which I loved it. And then, coming and seeing the property here and seeing where I could lend a hand in this renaissance of this property is exciting. I love a challenge. Unfortunately, it's the good and the bad. Yeah, I love difficult projects, if you will. So
you're like, is this going to hurt me?
Yeah.
Is that why you like resorts over
pretty
freestanding restaurants?
Yeah, there's the magnitude of all the things going on. The creative process, which is why we get into this business, not for all the other fun things.
Yeah.
That's so apparent here. And with this, again, this resurgence of the property, it needs that creativity, which is great. It's just we just funnel into it.
Especially in a rebirth, right?
Yep.
That's when you're like, okay, now we need to reinvent ourselves. Keep on reinventing, keep on bringing new things, and bring a new life to a San Diego Classics.
And with a lot of these, even the cocktails we'll talk about, there's always a nod back to the past because the property has so much of that insane history. I learned something new every day here. Like who's who and who's done what here. But it's to look towards the future. Like that's the real push for the grand event that we had, this past week too, was a big part of that. Was like, okay, what's new?
What's your favorite historical fact that you found out? What's the one tidbit that you tell your wife?
Let's see. Favorite historical part would probably be that the books from the Wizard of Oz being written here.
I know, right?
Nobody knows that. Well, I mean, we do, but like, no, she's a huge fan. Yeah. And I told her that, Frank Baum, and then like the chandelier being designed by him from the original Crown Room, that kind of stuff.
I didn't really see design.
That's crazy.
Okay, that is a new fact for me.
That is a 100-year chandelier that is in part of the remodel.
I'll show you where the original one is down by the office.
Oh my God.
Super badass.
That's incredible. And so, I mean, obviously, like rebirthing a classic, it's a massive, massive project. How much did you get a hand in? Because you came in 6 months ago. Did you get a hand in actually like rebuilding?
Yeah, it was a sink or swim for sure for the plan, and when we had met, and then this amazing deal came together for an offer to come to the property. It was, and by the way, we're opening a restaurant in 30 days, 60 days. Don't forget, even Nobu. Even Nobu being a vetted partner of ours to open up that restaurant, it's our baby. It's our our associates. So that was on there. I felt a little more secure about that one to start. But the redesign of this veranda that we're sitting in today, and it was. And by the way, we're going to do this. And luckily in my expertise, I've been fortunate enough to open a lot of properties. I've opened probably about 9 resorts from kind of ground up and do the concept development. Again, going back to the stuff I love.
You do like a challenge. So you're the opener too.
And it's always the hardest too. So I chalked that up to kind of this component. It's like, okay, let's refresh it. Luckily we have a great team of culinarians too, like Chef Patrick. I mean, we just have.
So when he says Chef Patrick Ponsati is one of a few master French chefs in San Diego who is, I mean, the Frenchiest Frenchman I've ever met in my entire life. He is one of my favorite human beings. He's your right-hand man.
Yes.
Okay.
He really has been guiding me into the San Diego atmosphere along with like Chef Jojo when we kind of go through that.
Yep.
And then able to bring kind of my own version of the West Coast charm in there. So
okay, so we're going to get to your own version of the West Coast charm. Tell us where we're sitting.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say the signpost where we are, but you're doing it. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. We'll talk about your spin in a second. Right now, we're sitting in Veranda. So this is one of the new ideas. First of all, can you give me a little brief primer on Veranda, and then run us through this damn feast we're looking at right
Absolutely.
now? Okay.
So Veranda's concept, and as you can tell by the visuals here, was clean, open, just like a veranda, a window to the ocean.
Yep.
Again, a nod to the property. So we wanted to go very background muted, bright colors. You see a lot of this hints of different tones of green in here, so that you're not taken away from the ocean view. Mm-hmm. That was the design. Food wise, when I first got into it, I really wanted to just do some really American classics with some tweaks that are really fueled by California produce.
Yep.
And that relationship really kind of grew as we started testing the food out, seeing what people were thinking and liking. I mean, the restaurant's only been open for a couple months, so we're still in that phase of what we call R&D continuously, right? Like just checking things off, and as beautiful things are coming into season that we're seeing here. So even right in front of me, like this amazing farmers market stone fruit tartine that that our partners and farms had put together, just what is available in season, went and picked up from us from the farmers market, brought it to the Hotel Del, and that's really you can't get any fresher than that, but it's also cooking the right way. Yeah. Try not to screw it up, pretty much.
That's pretty much what you do in media and everything. Yep. Marriage.
Looks like a mouse got into it, though. I don't know.
Yeah, Jackie Bryant mouse. It's a species.
Somebody took the green plum.
Yep.
Again, heirloom tomatoes as they're coming on here in the warm months that we're finally hitting to just dress with beautiful burrata, California artichokes. What really highlights that is the charred grill, Aleppo pepper, fresh grilled lemon. Yep, a little bit of lemon aioli too. Again, not trying to screw it up. I'm not stuffing it with anything.
Yep.
Those are big too. Those are big boys.
Yep, that's all our produce. And then a little further down to the ode to spring and summer, a beautiful pea risotto, finished with pea puree, a little mint, diverse scallops. And then we have the big, literally named tomahawk, which you can see where the name comes from now, a 50-ounce dry-aged beef ribeye bone-in tomahawk with milfoil potato. That is a secret menu item, actually. So when you come to Veranda...
60 ounces. That's the tomahawk and the hawk.
Yeah, I don't think we want to see the ticket price in that one right now. Today, but
you know.
It is by the ounce. They did tell me that. But that's a secret menu item. So that one thing about Veranda that makes it unique is it's a new space, but the team is not new serving you. Mark my words, you'll have the most elegant service here. against all of my other restaurants, the servers are just amazing that have been here, the entire team. And the reason is they've really been kind of grandfathered into the property. You know, they've really been here with this 20, 30 years of experience serving you. And so when you go to a new restaurant, it's not like that, right? You go to a new restaurant, you're working out the hostess, the seating.
It's like a really effed up ballet.
And
it's a ballet where everybody's on drugs. You know what I mean? It really, because sure, you have professionals and people are coming in there with a skill set, but you have to go ease. You know, you have a brand new place you got to learn how to dance in, right?
And we were so lucky to not really have to do that.
Yeah.
The culinary team picked up right where they kind of left off, if you will. So that made Veranda such a highlight. A couple of the cocktails we're looking at too, to just touch base on them. That are history driven. So
this coconut ditty right here.
What are you holding?
Oh dear God, he's figuring it out right now.
That's the luau room. So the luau room from 1949 to 1969 was a stylish tiki restaurant and bar at Hotel Coronado. So again, giving an ode to the past, but moving forward into the future.
This is my favorite cocktail in the whole world. I am a sucker for anything coconut.
And then monkeys in the garden. Little known fact. We used to have actual in the garden space here. There was zoo animals.
I was going to say monkeys.
I remember
like literally.
Like, where's this going?
There was a giraffe. I wish we still had one. That'd
think
be so cool.
about the flying monkeys in the Wizard of Oz.
Those are creepy, but yeah.
Yes.
If that didn't scare everyone as a kid. But that really before the first site, before the San Diego Zoo, we actually had these exotic animals here. So that's the bourbon-based cocktail. And then if really getting into the circa 1888, again, namesake for ourselves, is really the Del's founding year that we were open with the Victorian charm.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
That tastes like Bananas Foster. It's amazing.
A brulee banana on top.
Yeah, it's great.
So as we, tasting these items, seeing this highlight in the Veranda, let's kind of take you across to some of the property. What's another reason to be out here visiting besides that? I feel like Coronado in general has a great resurgence. It really does, and you see the work being done around here, not just at the property. Down the street, down the road.
Well, no, honestly, for the longest time, a Hotel Del and maybe one other place, were the only things in Coronado. When Coronadans wanted to go eat, they went downtown, and that's changing.
Yep.
Obviously, Hotel Del being kind of the epicenter of that, and that's where it started. Like real food, just like all across San Diego, like the Air Valentine up in North County, like some of the best resorts, like those are the ones where like farm to table, is really happening in San Diego, and that's what starts the boom. And then you get little satellite bistros and everything around it, and it is really happening. So you guys kind of have to keep up, I guess. That's it.
I mean, with one of the things with keeping up. And before we kind of go into some of the outlets too, we have Mike here too. Want to introduce him? Mike's here, really representing a huge part that nobody kind of talks about in the beginning. Is yes, chefs and the service team, everyone's great. All of it starts really with our products.
Well, you were talking about we're talking about the Nature's Bounty that you can obviously see in all these dishes here. You're talking about the stone fruit there. You're talking about the tomatoes here. This is an 80-year. This is a great time to bring you in. A 60 to 80, depending on your version of the story, as you were kind of telling it earlier. Be really close to that mic there. You get all up on there. Tell me about your family's produce business. Started in LA with Grandpa Sammy.
You bet. Absolutely. It's a wonderful family story and a wonderful growth of a company. Papa Sammy started with one truck servicing local restaurants throughout Los Angeles. And one truck became two became three. And currently we have 70 to 80 trucks on the road daily, servicing everywhere from Coronado, the tip of San Diego, all the way up through Ventura County, Santa Barbara.
Okay.
We send several trucks out through Las Vegas and the desert, even as far as we ship air-flown product directly into Hawaii and places to the likes of Guam and even to cruise ships down in Tahiti.
Oh, so you're going global.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I started out of Papa Sammy's truck.
Yes.
Okay. And you were talking a little bit about like getting as much local and sustainable bounty as you possibly can. If you're dealing with that many restaurants, if you're dealing with that many trucks, how do you get that much great product, and make sure that every single restaurant has enough that they need to pull off this tart?
It's actually just a wonderful partnership that we've grown and really cultivated with all of our growers, our shippers, growing partners, and distributors. We source from some of your major farms to the likes of farmers such as Sunkist, Driscoll,
yep.
Nature Ripe, all the way through Dole, Chiquita, Del Monte.
Yep.
And we really try to concentrate and procure everything from the wonderful state of California. Because during peak season, and it's really about seasonality, during peak season, you've got 95% of your fruits and vegetables grown within the state of California alone, which is over
of the country's
400 commodities.
I knew that.
400 different things growing out of this earth. 95% of our fruits and vegetables in the country.
Absolutely.
And it's funny, not to cut. Mike and I were talking about this earlier too. It's you go to the grocery store and it's unfortunate because it creates that mindset so much of cucumbers, tomatoes, everything's it's always available. Why can you not have that? And here, even like the first 3 items we talked about are 4, only have them going into July. Like there's no other reason, and it's easier said than done. And Mike's family, and even Mike himself has really helped us to go and find these products, hunt down the small farmers, go to the farmers market for me if I can't make it.
Yep.
And that's we really want people understanding that when you're writing menus, and that's what's created a lot of the creation around these items too, where it's like you just drop that product off and then we look at it and we're like, okay, I can't wait to make this tart. Like it really just speaks to you.
Yeah. So you're constant contact with Nature's Produce to be like, what do you have? What looks the best? Or I want to do this. And then you're on the other end going, okay, he wants to create this. How do I find the best available product and the highest seasonality? How do I source that for him, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really a symbiotic relationship between the farmers and our customers, and really going and conveying everything from a seasonality chart for looking what's really in season, looking at future availability of what's going to be harvested and grown out of the farms, even the consulting with meteorologists and finding out further weather patterns and how that's affecting market conditions at the current time. And the bottom line is that we're just trying to get the freshest and most flavorful product to our customers at any given time.
I didn't think about that. You actually you have to future predict the weather. You got to be a meteorologist. I
mean, rain all of a sudden changes everything, right, Mike? I mean, you know that.
Absolutely.
All of a sudden he's calling and that asparagus you wanted, it's not happening.
Right.
And it's really key. And working with Chef Brian and his team, we really plan menus and menu cycles around that to make sure that we have the freshest products and availability and being plentiful throughout the season and throughout the menu cycle to really give their customers and guests the best experience and the best food that's available.
So what is popping right now? What hasn't popped this summer? I mean, obviously climate is changing. I talked to Chef Drew Deckman in San Diego, and he said, look, we have tomatoes right now. We've never had, and this was months ago. He's like, we've never had tomatoes this early in the season. It is absolutely changing. How is what changes have you noticed, kind of tracking what produce is growing in California?
California has just become an absolute fertile land of every kind of product, and everything's really blossoming and popping right now. You've got everything from your stone fruit, from peaches, plums, nectarines, to cherries. The cherries are absolutely phenomenal. All different kinds of varieties of cherries.
Dude, they're money right now.
So good.
From a Bing cherry to a Rainier cherry. I mean, they are just absolutely the freshest and most flavorful as possible right now.
And Mike has to slap us sometimes too, because we get stupid. I'll be honest with you, and I'll say it's my fault, but it's like, here's what I wrote. Why don't we have it? And he's like, you're crazy. Like, this is not available, or it's hard as a rock, or unsweet. The brick count isn't there. The sugar isn't there.
Right.
So you really need someone else telling you, even from a chef perspective, and just like you mentioned, well, you think the dates and times, but it doesn't work like that, and it really doesn't. And as you guys are mentioning, things change.
Hey Brian, just watch this. I do it all the time. For the first 6 years of this podcast, I was like, yes, They're like, please stop, Jesus. We had a couple ring guys on, like mostly Italian.
It's funny, only men do this.
It's really only a male thing. Yeah,
I'll try to just lean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you have to adapt, because even though you may think that asparagus is going to be available X, if the weather isn't right, if maybe somebody ordered a hell of a lot of them, and the supply is, you're left with the dregs or whatever. You've got to adjust your menu, and adjusting a menu as big as a Hotel Del is not a small feat.
It's not easy to turn the ship.
Yeah,
it's not. Luckily, we actually print in house. We love changing our menus whenever we feel that it makes sense and there's an issue.
Yeah,
you're right. A lot of places aren't able to turn that quickly, but it is still a beast to turn. I mean, you're looking at the outlets. Since we finished this extensive kind of facelift to the property, a big part of it were restaurants that came back into full phase here. So, behind us is the Sun Deck, which is just gorgeous. I mean, literally, you're touching the water.
So the Sun Deck is basically a glass enclosed veranda, or right by the pool, overlooking the ocean, overlooking the grass.
Yes.
That is where everybody eats,
and that is where everyone goes, and that is right above the Paseo. So if you're a people watcher like me, whether you're making fun of them or not, you can sit up there and have just the best view of everyone going by. By everyone going by. The food's
Anybody
fantastic.
likes to watch Boardwalk? Come on,
right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're here and you're looking at this deck, if you don't know where it is, and it feels like the Sun Deck, it's the Sun Deck. It's like the shortest, most descriptive name I think for anything on the property.
And going back to just the volume too of, we're so lucky that guest, if you're not staying with us, if you just drive down, that guest can go to these restaurants. And it just feels, it's a full house every day here.
Yeah.
Especially when the sun comes out, as we all know.
Right.
Which has made a huge difference. And the food concept up there is really clean San Diego, grilled fish sandwiches, beautiful salads, lots of vegetarian items, actually. And then, so you can come up there in a swimsuit covered attire, as long as it's fitting, and then lounge. We have some great areas where people can do parties up there as well. And then you kind of follow the beach down, and we have almost the infamous taco shack. I think
what is infamous about the taco shack? I want to know something more about infamy.
Yeah,
one of the small spaces the size of not even a studio bedroom in New York, Mike should know, that does multi-million dollars in tacos. Just
awesome.
Unbelievable.
Really?
All right, what's the best taco?
I want to invest in it myself. Yeah. We just added a pastor.
Okay.
So that's probably my favorite. Really taking that achiote marinated natto seed.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable. And then, what other place can you get here? Take the shoes off, dig in the sand, listen to live music. So I love it. Going back around too, and then Soraya, which everyone knows, because it's been here for a few years, is actually also been part of this surge and rebirth of restaurant concepts. What we did there is Chef Jojo, who everyone knows,
Chef Jojo Ruiz,
locally.
who's on our cover, one of the people on our cover that has been the kind of the catalyst for San Diego's food scene for the best restaurants.
Yeah,
and for sustainable catch.
Yeah,
yep. With his passion too, Jojo is always driving the ideas that we're doing over there, and my role is to support that and make it happen. Just launched a new menu over there, which is very well received. Love the Mediterranean influence.
Yeah,
and that kind of plays a part in our restaurant concepts. You want to have a different feel every time you come down.
We got dessert being flown in, Chef.
Is that like a strawberry shortcake situation?
Oh, you are a godsend.
Or something like it?
This is, if we don't get sued, this is the Maryland. So this is the iconic frozen vanilla souffle that Marilyn Monroe would order every day when they were filming Some Like It Hot.
No way.
And we did our version of it, of course.
Yeah.
So I just added this to the menu.
So these are Mike's strawberries?
Yes,
always.
indeed.
Yes, they are.
How legally touchy is her estate?
I've only got
Let's
warned.
not dive into it, Jackie.
I only got warned once. Yeah, but as the story goes, the legend goes that you can find was that she would order this from the pastry chef. It wasn't on the menu.
Okay.
Even then,
Sure.
the pastry chef would whip it up.
Yep.
So we did our little version where we make this little tower and we pour the strawberry consomme over top. Gold leaf, of course, because she's a lady. Beautiful meringue on top for a little bit of
I'm
texture.
gonna destroy
It was like pavlova.
Please destroy it.
It was like a pavlova.
Yeah.
That was made for the dancer.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
It's not on menu. I don't care. You're the
Oh,
best
hell
thing
yeah.
in this entire house. I'm going to make something that resembles you,
That's summer in a dish. It's so good.
All right, so the Maryland.
The Maryland.
And were you happy with how it turned
gonna
out,
be
buddy?
finishing
Oh,
that.
it's fantastic, and it's that story. You've walked the hallways here, and
Yep.
you see everyone always pulls over to take a picture with a Maryland photo somewhere, and it's another famous person that had a big impact on the resort and as it's developed over the years. So the dessert's a cool version of that.
Oh my God! It's just beautiful
It's
strawberries and
perfect.
cream.
Super clean.
It's strawberries and cream with more texture.
Or fresas
More
con
brightness.
crema.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fresas con crema.
It's perfect. It's actually very San Diego.
Did you just say what I said in Spanish?
Yeah. Just kicking it up a notch,
So with I mean, I love, and we like to sprinkle those stories into, so that, again, if it's your first time ever coming here, I think the history, you learn more every time. Like you guys and me, like I'll learn something almost every month here of like come across our historians and things they discover that they still discover, believe it or not, even through this construction, finding artwork, finding things like that they'll unearth literally. I actually work down on the other side of the power plant area too, which when I come in the morning, just walking through that historic tunnel from the 1800s, like every morning, I'm telling you, come out to the restaurants, I'm already jazzed up, give me an espresso.
Well, and part of the rebuild process was taking away layers of things that have been built upon the history. Yeah. They found, I think, 2 alfrescos, behind like layers of paint and everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, one in the main ballroom, which we love it. And as we expanded and we grew the brand into the LXR part of things too, those have a couple of the restaurants in it. So if you're a guest staying with us at the Shore House, you have your own private restaurant in there too, called the Shore House Bistro. Yep. That's part of the LXR experience.
LXR is basically your high roller experience.
Yep. And then on the other side, the Windsor Cottage, that experience too is also wrapped in LXR, where we have your own private membership if you choose to pay into it, or just for the day. We're staring at Ocean Club Restaurant, which again is just a gorgeous new build that had opened up a couple of years ago, that just has gorgeous view that is members only, so you kind of feel that
outdoor
when you
fire
go.
pits. It's really a nice place.
That bar kicks it, right? And that's the area too. Everyone knows who you are because you kind of go in there. So we add that taunt to it. I know we already touched on Nobu, but that partnership that just launched a little over a month ago is now going to be opening up for lunch as well. And when they do what they call their Yama or Omakase kind of experience with their features, I mean, such great partners. The chefs we have there are amazing, super talented. And I feel like it just added a little more class to our team. We call this really Restaurant Row, because you come down here and you can start.
It's its own city. Yeah.
You can start all the way up at Eno, which the really well known for its pizza and how popular it is.
Yep. And wine.
And
fun fact, they can make up to 500 pizzas a day, right? And then they have to stop.
That's right where they stop. I think one way or the other they stop at that about. So that's our, since the dough's made fresh every day, that's the portioning for it. So they get to 500 and less. And since it's a 6 to 7 hour process, if you don't see that in hindsight, that's when we close the doors.
I know. What does make the pizza so good? I mean, like a 3-day ferment.
So really, we're using a high hydration recipe in the dough, which gives it that pull and that texture.
Got it.
And that's why I love it. But if you, like anyone who's kind of obsessed about pizza dough, it's really a daily thing. Like it has to be made.
And it's the oven heat, right?
I've seen everybody. Yep. We're trying to get to 900, but I think we max out at 7.
Well, when you're doing 500 pizzas for Restaurant Row of the Hotel Del, it gets brings down the tempo.
Yeah. The as you keep kind of going through there too, and you hit. Sundays. Who hasn't been exploited with our ice cream offerings there? As soon as the sun comes out, I feel like I was at the hotel.
Exploited by ice cream. Yeah, that is one of my favorite things to be exploited by.
That's going to be the title of your memoir.
That's it. Exploited by ice cream.
That was my wife when we stayed here we were staying at the property for about a little over a month. I cannot stop her down here like 9 o'clock at night getting a Sunday.
Would be me. So and Troy.
Luckily we were able to put that all into one cost area, but I was like, you see how expensive this Sunday is? Like, really? Like,
all right, so you got 6 full places you're overseeing at this place.
Yeah, we end up with 12 outlets overall. So then you add in like B&S Bar, which is Babcock and Story, right? First thing I thought it was, it's definitely not what you think it would be for B&S Bar, but the founders of the property, right? Like I learned, and these guys met and created and built this area, which again, kind of like going back in the bar names and the bars.
Okay, we could hold that. We'll start with B&S.
Yeah, this was just a little
hard to believe
sand,
there might be
right?
some extra military action right now.
It's always action in Coronado.
18, whatever. This was just like a little spit of sand with nothing on it. This was like...
Yeah, you look... Exactly. It's the famous... The turret is always what you could see. And then we've expanded these neighborhoods, Right. So like B&S Bar we're talking about, which is named after Babcock and Story, the 2 founders who built it. look at what it's really experienced now. I mean, you've probably been here for Festive, which will be coming up soon.
Yeah.
Like we turn at the ice skating ring here.
Yeah.
I mean, ice skating on the sand. When I flew out here the first time, and we used to visit San Diego all the time as a Arizona native, right?
I was going to ask.
Who doesn't come down from Arizona? You're beating them off with a stick. So we would always come down my family would always come down. And I never saw, like when I first flew out here last year, and then it was still winter, and then I went to walk on the beach, and there was an ice rink. I was like, what is going on?
63 degrees, because that's our winter coat, temperature gauge. You're like, hey, it's time to break out the neck beard. It's 63.
It's genuinely iconic, and I don't use that word hyperbolically in this sense, but that is a genuinely iconic thing to do in San Diego. Skating at the Del.
Yeah, skating at the Del.
I love it, and it was funny because I walked from the sand like shoeless. I came up and I'm like, what? There's an ice skating ring here? Like I was like, what is going on? But just one of the many things that we kind of venture into. We're so excited to really see this come to fruition too.
Yeah.
It's not just an investment of dollars like we talked about, like financial. It's investment of so much labor of love. We have associates and team members retiring after 40-50 years here.
Yeah,
I mean, that doesn't happen everywhere, and I've been doing this for a long time,
and
right?
that's a family, and that goes back to you, like your family. You're what, third generation of Nature's Produce, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so is your family, a lot of the family still involved in what you guys do? It's still involved, like working with the farmers, working with the chefs?
Everybody's involved. And the beautiful thing is a lot of our employees, some of our employees have been with the family for over 40 years, some upward toward 50 years.
Wow.
And it's
awesome.
A wonderful thing. And I think what really differentiates us from the rest of our competitors.
I know if I'm a chef and I'm like, I got a bunch of different places where I could probably, there's a few people that I can source my fruits and vegetables from. Why would you?
We like to make our customers and everybody that we work with and all of our employees feel like they're part of the family.
Yeah.
The day that a customer ever feels like a number, we're not in the right business.
Yeah, right.
And it's really that goes and makes you part of their team, makes them part of our team. And between our growers and our customers, it's a wonderful, beautiful relationship that we have with everybody.
Give me a specific way in which you've had to whip his ass a little bit.
Did you guys text late at night? Like
he's like, how
hey,
that strawberry's looking?
Hey,
how's the stone fruit?
It's like, I think we try to order. Well, Mike can tell you. We try to order stone fruit like in winter. Was the first time he jumped on us. That wasn't me, but
that's some of the tough parts. You deal with that because you go to a supermarket and during the middle of the winter, you see everything looks shiny, everything looks great.
Yeah.
You could see peaches hanging out there on the shelf, and everybody wants to go and get a peach or get a nectarine. But the truth be told, where they're really coming from is Chile, and they're all boated over. They're not tree ripened. They get force ripened here by ethylene gas.
Yep.
And it's not
tomatoes grown in Florida sand that put on the train with the ethylene as well. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And during season, we get to pull everything in. It's tree ripened and grown within California, and we have it from farm to the table within days.
Got it.
Especially
so you
here
basically
at
built a logistical system, and we know that there's a food problem, or food waste problem in the United States because a lot of our produce doesn't have the distribution to get to different outlets, supermarkets, people, chefs, restaurants, everything.
Food waste
else.
is just a distro issue.
I think it's 30% of agricultural product grown is actually just wasted into the fields. It becomes compost and whatnot, but that's still an issue. You kind of are a logistical solve for that issue.
Yes, and throughout the year, we've got a lot of different climatic zones throughout California and microclimatic zones as well, which lends the hand to being able to grow some things year round, such as strawberries. Strawberries typically a summer fruit.
San Diego, it's like November. It feels like they go all year round.
We have tons of microclimates in San Diego.
I know. And I'm sorry, I cut you off. Please continue that thought.
That's a beautiful thing in California. You could be from the ocean to the mountains, back into the desert, all within 2 hours of each other if you don't have any traffic, like in wonderful LA.
So strawberry season, what is it now? I mean, for San Diego, how long is that season?
Well, like I was just saying, they're growing strawberries throughout the year in California.
Okay,
and these farmers have these wonderful techniques. I could give a prime example. There's a wonderful grower out in Oxnard, and they are growing year-round, and they grow a particular variety called gaviota strawberries. And they're
seagull in Spanish.
You and your Spanish today.
I know, nice. I'm on fire.
They've got the most unbelievable sugar content, and the farmers use sustainable and organic methods to go and rehydrate the soil, to go against the desertification. And really using compost, using crop coverings, to really make sure that they've got the most fertile soils throughout the year. And it's a beautiful way that they grow it. Everything from their drip irrigation to other organic methods, such as they use predator mites or ladybugs or praying mantis to go and control pests.
I'm obsessed with that. Yes.
There are farms that I know that use vultures to control rodents.
Yep.
It's just very, very cool.
Are we eating his strawberries?
We have, of
yes.
course.
They
yes,
are
indeed.
insane.
Wait, is that these the strawberries from the farm that you were talking about? Or?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
They're really good. So that Maryland is going to be available all year round because of farms like that.
Yeah, they're right now strawberries are popping throughout California from everywhere from, within a 100-mile radius of the Hotel Del Coronado all the way up through Watsonville, Oxnard. So you've got a really good region and various regions that they're growing these strawberries.
What's the trickiest thing to grow except for ramps? Ramps have like a 7-second life season.
A lot of your berries are very delicate.
Yeah, okay,
raspberries, strawberries, blackberries.
And is that why they work in California? Because we do at least have enough temperate climate where that can hang out.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just taking selfies
The
now.
more you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a strawberry fiend, so thank you for all the intel.
In your opinion, then, okay, so I've heard California tomatoes, Chino Farm corn. What is your favorite thing that grows out of the breadbasket of California? What do you think that California does the absolute best?
My favorite thing to always go to is a California strawberry. I love California strawberries. I will go for California berries all day.
Yep.
Every day.
Where do we get our ass kicked?
California tomatoes.
And California tomatoes, too. Okay, strawberries and tomatoes. Got it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, where can we do better?
And where do we get our ass kicked?
Like, where are we pushing the line a little
blueberries,
bit?
we don't do blueberries, but what? That's Maine,
It's
Connecticut?
like, yeah, we can do it.
Look, there are strictly commodities that don't grow here.
Right.
And you're really sourcing from Central America, such as pineapples.
Yeah.
Sure.
All your major fields are really through all Costa Rica.
You never know. One day we're trying to grow coffee here. We're trying to grow, some geisha beans and everything else in Southern California.
If you can afford it.
If you can
Square footage out here, I'll tell you.
Okay, so we went through all of your venues that you have here. Give us a quick example. I got to let you go because you actually have to cook and you have a job to do. Give us an example of scale. Like, how many strawberries are you buying from this man to your right? I mean, a day, a month, a year.
Enough for Mike to be sitting with me. No, I mean,
Oh my God, you guys really are buds.
If you want to talk about numbers, which is a hard thing, everything Mike's talking about is so important to craft this product.
Yeah.
And then we're looking at 6-7 restaurants right now that are doing 400-500 people at night. I mean, you start to do those
thousands
numbers.
of meals a day,
pallets and pallets of produce and protein. But how do you do that at this scale?
How do you get the good product enough?
And I'm not
product?
bashing anybody, but we're not trying to go the commodity route either.
Yep.
Because we have such volume, we're focusing on the customers that come here. Working, I mean, trust me, Mike, we'll send them out to the places to be like, hey, I got a guy who can go out and get these for you, and we'll pull even to the party that we just had, the relaunch party that you were part of. He worked with Harry's Berries to do our one strawberry station. I know they're pricey, but they're unbelievable.
Absolutely. You have a bevy on a menu. You're like, yes, I can do these berries.
Yeah.
If you need, I can also have these that are very good at a different price range.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And so we're talking pallets and pallets, but to feed the community that's out here is just unbelievable. The numbers that we're seeing, which is a testament to the location in the area and the service, is just they haven't dwindled.
Anybody can get, I mean, not anybody, it's still an art, and I'm not going to bash on the tiniest little bistro owner, but if you run a bistro and you're serving 70 covers a night, if you're serving 100 covers a night, a little bit easier to get the max peak produce or that much of a product. If you have thousands and thousands and thousands you're doing, that you're gonna have your margin for like getting the very best in season peak delicious strawberry it's harder to make.
Difficult.
Super difficult.
And these guys, they're doing the work for it. They really are, and that's how I think Mike touched on it, but relationships is, again, a huge part of what builds a great restaurant. And you think of all the great restaurants that you've been to, too, and there's great relationships and partnerships that have helped the chefs just be the medium in between the amazing product.
Right. You got to have a binder of farmers. You got to have a Rolodex of farmers ready.
Yeah. We're getting
Or I just
canceled.
text Or just ask Mike. I'm like, can you just run out and buy this stuff?
Your Rolodex is just all farmers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, it's the relationship and the partnership, as Chef Brian said.
Yeah.
We'll go through menus and we'll look at the usage and what the potential usage is. And my partnership with the growers, I'll go ahead and get a forecast with them and give them the future availability. Mm-hmm. And that gives them the ability to go and procure, to harvest, and me the ability to procure everything to make sure I could go and satisfy all the needs of the Hotel Del.
The orders from the Del are actually shaping what is grown in certain farms.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
Absolutely. We get crop commitments with certain growers, and they will go ahead and they'll plant a row of crops, and they know that that's allocated and sold.
He just brought with some honey samples that we're going to be checking out to do kind of co-brand one of the farmers too, to really kind of co-brand their honey for the Del.
Awesome.
So we're working on that now.
Cute.
Always something.
Okay, well, great. Here's what we see. We see chef who has to do thousands and thousands and thousands of meals at one of the most sought after properties in the country, if not the world. And then you have to have a man like this who has a Rolodex of farmers that can actually supply not only very good, but in large quantities, that essential product, because you're only as good. The food's only as good as the product. No offense to a chef.
No,
you can take a mediocre product and make it good. That's your skill set, right?
Mac and cheese.
But you can, but you can take a great product and make it phenomenal. You can make it so damn good, like that tart, like that tomato salad. That is excellent, and that risotto is actually really damn good too. All right, so this is Veranda. Veranda is the new. Everything here is kind of a showcase. Everything here is kind of a show pony. But I mean, this is the one that's right over the grass, open. You see the ocean right there. That one's probably got a. Every place has a good view.
It's really...
That's why everything's facing this way.
Everything's facing this way. You're basically looking at the grass, which looks at the sand, which looks at the ocean, which looks at the boats.
You could do worse. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Congratulations. Don't mess this up, okay?
Will not.
All right. I realize that you spent some time in Florida, which may taint your ability to pull things off.
We had to make one. We were joking before. We're like, can we make one Florida joke?
But the $550 million property redo is done. This has been one of the biggest renovation projects honestly in the country. And in San Diego for sure. I mean, maybe historically it's the biggest one that's ever been done. You're almost out of here, Chef. Sorry. You're good?
All good.
You gonna miss another HR meeting? What other meeting you want to miss?
His neck.
Want me to restart the podcast?
They're like, you have to sign the forms.
All right, maybe take out Binder of Women. That was a joke.
I actually think it was funny, and it's so old now. I don't know. And you said Binder of Chef. I think it's fine. I really think it's fine.
I didn't say Binder of Women.
It's so vintage. That's from like the Tea Party, which is like ages ago. Like not even relevant.
Okay, ready? Okay, do it. Where was I?
I think we're just wrapping it.
All right, I'll just keep on wrapping it up. So again, one of the biggest projects that's been pulled off in San Diego history. It's damn lovely, and that is damn good food. We came from Nobu a couple weeks ago, which is also damn good food. So congratulations on your post.
Thank you.
And I will say it one more time, please don't mess this thing up. It is a lovely, we love this property. And thank you for supplying him with some of the best damn strawberries year round, man.
Yeah, seriously.
Absolutely.
All right.
It's my pleasure and honor.
Where can we find your family farm online?
naturesproduce.com.
Okay. Do you have Instagram too? Are you like doing berry porn?
Yeah. Yes, you can find it at Nature's Produce LA.
Nature's Produce LA. Okay, gotcha. At the Del Coronado is the Instagram.
Yep.
And then your personal? Do you have personal?
Yeah, just Chef Archie. Easy to find.
Chef Archie. All right, man. Well, welcome to town. I look forward to seeing this place evolve even more. We won't do two people $50 because it's been. We already had a bunch of different good food. Come down to the Del, check it out. We'll catch you next week on Happy Half Hour.
Thank you for your support.